welcome. It is the Ski Bum Podcast, episode number 328, and it is your pals, Brian, and you know him, you love him. Not Mario, it is Tim Meyer from Ski Rex Media. Tim, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
You are quite welcome, sir. Thank you so much for having me. Trying to fill Mario's shoes, man. I'm Tario today.
Tario. Yes, you have to talk in an Italian accent if you don't mind.
I can't do that. It'll come out sounding like Super Mario Brothers. And while
works.
Mario is a super person, I don't think he wants that.
Close enough. Yes, Mario is currently in Pragelato, Italy, enjoying the beautiful food and skiing and everything that is European skiing right now. But I decided that the show must go on. We could have taken a week off. We've taken too many weeks off. There's been sicknesses. There's been whatever. And I said, nay. I said, who can I reach out to who can fill in for Mario and get the job done? And there was only one man that I knew could do the job right. So Tim, thank you so much for playing along today.
You're welcome, dude. Like, I'm always happy to help you guys. You guys are friends of Ski Rex Media. You're friends of mine. We've all hung out. We hung out at Snowbound where we all got sick. You know, we've hung out at Cannon where we didn't get sick and skied in the fog. And we've been around. And yeah, I'm more than happy to help, man. I'm here. I'm here for you, and I'm here for your listeners and then our crossovers. What's up, everybody? How you doing? The people. That's what we're all about. That's right, man.
My podcast, your podcast. It's all about the people. You know, we are this. This actually, we could call this Poser Podcast because, you know, based on our conversation before the podcast, you know, I'm a little embarrassed for the number of days I've been on the snow this year. I think, Tim, you might or might not be as well. But you know, we do this because we love it, and we have our reasons why we do it. Tim has his reasons. If you've listened to him before, you know why. If not, he'll probably talk a little bit more about it in the main topic.
Totally,
Tim is as real as it gets. He's a great guy. He's actually doing stuff in the ski industry. So Ski Rex Media,
here, man.
Check him out in the socials, but we will find out more about Tim in the main topic.
Yep.
But thank you all for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We're on the socials, Instagram, X, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube. We're at Ski Bum Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Comments, questions. You need stickers. Send us an email. We'll get you some stickers. Everybody needs stickers. They're wonderful. They're
awesome.
We even have coasters because when you think of us, you should be thinking about drinking because, God damn it, you need a drink when you listen to this podcast sometimes. Look at
100%. I want coasters.
You want some coasters? I'll send you some coasters.
I want coasters, dude.
See?
Love it.
See? You too can have coasters, right? It's all about knowing your audience, right? That's the case.
Right.
Do you have money burning a hole in your pocket? Do you love the podcast? And how about you go to patreon.com/skibumpodcast and become a patron? It's the most noble thing you can do, really, besides giving blood to us. And we don't need your blood now. We might at some point. We might store it in a freezer. I don't know. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Let's not put the old cart in front of the horse. We need a few extra bucks. We need to do some things. We need to improve. Look, I've had this goddamn green screen up with like nothing happening. So that's one way we could spend your money to improve the ambiance of the podcast. We may find more events to go to bring on new information, to share new knowledge, actually get on the snow a little bit more and have more insight. Lots of things we can do if we had money. So you know what to do. Hit us up. Patreon.com/skibumpodcast. We love skiing. And you know what we also love doing? We love being jacked. We love being in good shape. You need some gear, you need some shorts, shirts, pants, whatever. I can help you out. 10,000.cc, athlete-led design. Their motto is better than yesterday. At the heart of 10,000 is the idea of pursuit in business, fitness, life, and skiing. They believe in moving forward with a quiet dedication to constant improvement and to becoming just a little bit better than you were yesterday. And as someone who ate 6,000 cookies last week, I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. God damn it.
Man.
Use the code BSchneider15, BSCHNEIDER15 at 10,000.cc, and you can save 15% off. Boom. I'm wearing their which pants are these? They're not the interval pants. These are the session pants. And I'm not
Let's
gonna
do a
take them
session,
off.
man.
Let's see. I can show you the goods. So see? Session. You got like the little zippery thing. My microphone's in the way. Ha ha. I don't know. This is really not doing the pants any justice whatsoever. But I love them. They're comfortable. It feels like wearing nothing at all. There's little holes
Hey,
in them. It's got speed holes.
and wearing nothing at all, man. You can't beat that.
This is true. So I'm a big fan. I think you like it too. Check out 10,000. Hey, Tim,
What's up, dude?
let's kick this off the way we usually do.
It's time for Opry Today.
All right, Tim. So I know you are not a partaker
Yep.
in the devil's juice.
No, I gave it up, my friend. You know
Yes,
this.
and I've heard tales of why you did, and
Yes,
I appreciate you trying to fight the good fight.
I try.
And I know some people are always trying to like force people back into drinking, and I've had a lot of come to Jesus moments in the last couple of years. And one of the ones, like, there's been mornings where I've had maybe 2 drinks alone. I love drinking
yeah.
alone. I'm like the opposite of George Thorogood. Actually, no. Actually, I think he likes
that was
drinking
his song,
alone, right?
dude. Yeah, I drink alone.
Because I know most people say it's bad to drink alone. I prefer
Yeah.
it. I want to be sitting at home while everyone's asleep and have a drink or two. It's not like I'm trying to get hammered, but I'm just like,
It's classy drinking.
I like to. That's how I justify it to myself.
You're a classy guy.
I am something like that in my basement in New Jersey right now, classing it up. But yeah, so I've had
Nice
those
part of
moments.
Jersey.
You wake up in the morning and you're like, my stomach hurts, my throat hurts. Why did I drink this? And then you look at how much of our life like how many positive events we tie alcohol to. It's birthday.
yeah.
Hey, we're celebrating. Hey, let's do a toast. Everything that we have as good, we connect alcohol to it,
We
which
do.
is really probably not the best thing for our culture. And I feel stupid buying alcohol. I call the liquor store the poison store, because think about it. You
Wow.
drink a bottle of anything there besides beer, you'll probably just die.
Yeah.
Anything else? Imagine any other store. Or imagine going to the grocery store. It's like, well, if I ate anything here, if I ate the whole container, I would die. But
Yeah.
this store, they just sell death.
Oh yeah, it's just all death, and you could get different levels of death. You can get slow death, you can get quick death, and go with Everclear, go nuts. Quick death, slow
anything.
death.
It doesn't matter.
yeah.
Everclear, bourbon, vodka. You drink a whole bottle, you'll probably die.
Yeah, it's just about the speed in which you want to die.
That's right.
How much you want to punish yourself. Vodka, I feel like, is a little bit slower. You drown in, because it starts classy.
Limoncello, like that'll take a long time.
Right.
It's a long, arduous death, I think.
Get that fancy bottle of Di Serrano, crack her open, do your thing.
That's
which I do.
The Di Serrano cream, the crema, or whatever they call it. Delicious. Not gonna lie.
I have a bottle of Di Serrano in my basement. I'm not gonna lie about it. It was left over. It's one of the things that my father left me, and it was more that I found it in his kitchen when I was cleaning his apartment. But whatever, I have it. So if I ever want to go back, I can. I like this, man. It takes Tario to come on the program for Brian to have his breakthrough, to hit step 1 and admit he has a problem.
Just because I've addressed the fact that I know it's bad doesn't mean I'm not gonna do it anymore. That's the problem. Like,
The beauty of the vice.
I follow all these like workout bros, on X, and they're like, if you want to get shredded, first thing you got to do, you cut out the booze, bro. And I'm like,
What's the second thing you got to do?
Still really like margaritas, though. Like,
Yeah.
but again, is that my inner bitch telling me to do that? Like, have a little drink, pussy. Like, you should just get it out and just be the goddamn man.
Yeah.
I don't know. But look at our
You know
culture. Too. Look at our history. Look at like the history of like the manliest men. Clint Eastwood. His bottle of whiskey in front of the fire. John Wayne, Clint Eastwood. Again, I already said Clint Eastwood. I haven't even been drinking. I'm saying Clint Eastwood over and over again because
That's how cool Clint Eastwood is.
Exactly. Dirty Harry, Steve McQueen, like everybody who's cool has always, thrown back and just gone on and been a badass, right?
100%. 100%. I'm not against it. I just know that as I've gotten older, I feel it more in the morning, as you were saying. My stomach feels it more in the morning, and you sit there and you almost sweat it out. Kind of feel it tearing in your eyes. The tears burn from the alcohol, and I am crying some of those mornings. I won't lie about it. Call me a bitch. I don't give a fuck. I can feel it in the tears. So I was like, plus I'm a lightweight. When it only takes 3 to be stupid, then you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
but
gotta
it's just such
stop.
a thing. It's like so just ingrained in our culture as that's
It
what's
is.
cool, and
It,
it's disturbing. It's
it
sad. It's
is.
sad in a way.
It's a little sad. It's a little disturbing, but it's what Western culture, such as it is. What are you gonna do?
Right.
If somebody's getting married, hey, let's have a drink. Somebody's, even at the my bachelor party, I didn't drink much, but I had a friend who did, and it didn't go well for him. It was not pretty. Um, all these other things that we drink to, birthdays, holidays, New Year's. What's the first thing you do on New Year's at midnight? It's January 1st. You're drinking
Yeah.
champagne, something. It is what it is. It's the way people have fun. Hey, I respect it. If you want to do it, go for it. I don't tell nobody nothing. Nope.
So,
I bowed out myself. It's better for me.
so Tim, what are you partaking in for your après today?
My après today is very basic bitch style, dude. A basic bitch Canada Dry ginger ale.
Look at
I know.
that.
It is actually, now that I think about it, this counts. How many different things can you make by mixing it with ginger ale? Ginger ale's always behind the bar. Always. You can make so many things with it. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been in it, and kids are doing like fucking tampon shots in their assholes and stuff, or whatever it is.
Vodka
So I don't know.
tampons. Yes, we talk about that a lot on our show too.
Yeah, and it's a whole to do. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm even more bitch than I thought because whatever. Because I'm not even drinking caffeine. This is caffeine free tonight. I'm going to bed right after this, man.
So, I mean, that's the thing too. It's like where are you in life? Like, what's the outcome you're looking for when you think dipping a tampon in vodka and inserting it into your anus is a good thing to do to start off your evening?
And to start off the evening, like I understand if you and your friends are hanging around, you're already a few sheets to the wind, and for some reason, you find your sister's box of tampons and like, dude, what'd be funny as hell? Let's soak this and then jam it where the sun don't shine. If you're starting the night with that, I can't even say I want to talk to your parents because you don't have any.
Yeah,
You just don't. It's just a weird life, dude. I can't.
I hear about stuff like that, and that's kind of what makes me want to not drink. I'm like, well, this is where it's going. Like, this is where people have taken this. Like, it makes me sad for them, really. That this seems like that's what the outcome of that is what they're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm. What's the end game?
What's your current status that's the upgrade?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like going from coke to crack to meth. Like,
yeah, that's like the Whitney Houston road, man.
That's the Whitney Houston road in trying to get it done quick, trying to end up in that bathtub fast.
We were hanging out with my father-in-law, and for some reason we were putting some Whitney Houston performance on. We were on YouTube, just kind of going through like amazing performances in the Whitney Houston national anthem from 1990 at Super Bowl. Amazing, great.
Oh, talent for days.
Yeah, amazing voice. So I started like just Googling Whitney Houston stuff, and I found a picture. They showed her bathroom when they found her. They said like all she was doing, it was all like sex toys and crack. It was like all that was in her bathroom. You're like, that is dark. Like that is absolutely like terrible dark.
That's fictional stuff right there. Like
that's like
shouldn't
some
be
Saw
real
shit right there.
Yeah. That should not be real. And this incredibly talented someone people in our age group grew up with.
Respected, loved, admired. Yeah. To just go down that dark of a path.
Crack pipes and sex toys. If I get famous, man, I hope I don't die when I'm famous. Because sometimes, like, you got to think about it. It may, I'll never have crack, but, other things might show up. But it doesn't mean I was like that far gone.
It's like must clear internet history first.
Yes. Like, I have things in my house too that I
Yeah.
don't necessarily want my niece and nephew to find when they're cleaning it out, But these things happen, and if you're
Uncle Tim,
famous,
why?
uh, don't ask. Don't. I'll come back as a ghost. Like, listen, kids, there's a lot of stories about me. Some are true, some are more than true.
That could be Leonard Part 7.
Oh, good old Cos, man.
No,
I missed the
was it
Cos.
Ghost Dad, right? That was the movie where he came back.
Oh, yeah, he was Ghost Dad. Either way, it was the Cos, and the Cos was great
Yeah.
before
Leonard
everything went down.
Part 6 was that was that weird movie where there was no parts 1 through 5,
Nope.
but there
There
was
was no
just
1 through
Leonard
5.
Part 6.
Leonard Part 6, and he was a kind of a spy kind of guy. It was really bad. It was awful. Like, it was bad, awful. But
And for kids who are too young to know, people loved Bill Cosby. I mean,
I loved Bill Cosby.
He was America's dad in the 80s.
The Cosby Show was incredible. I'll still watch it. It holds up, except for like the last 2 seasons are kind of weak, but it holds up.
They started adding like other people. Like
Yeah,
rando
some of the
kids
new
showed up.
Yeah, some of the new kids were all right, but not
Yeah.
all of them. What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? What are you gonna do?
Just like some people they worship these days, and a couple years down the road, things may seem a little darker. That's why you shouldn't, kids, you shouldn't worship celebrities.
Not at all.
There's
Don't
really
worship them.
no. They are not what they project.
You're gonna be in for a huge letdown when they find Taylor Swift in her bathroom.
Oh boy.
God forbid. I'm not saying
God
anything bad about.
forbid.
I'm not saying anything bad about. I like a couple Swift songs myself.
She is
Not gonna lie.
definitely not a Soros asset at this point. Her music was not
Yes.
purchased by his company in 2019.
True, but I
Definitely
don't want.
not.
I mean, I am trying to push a conspiracy theory that suggests she and her people killed Michael because if Michael Jackson lived, she would not be as popular as she is today. But that's a whole other podcast that we'll do some other time.
Tim, are we going to start the conspiracy podcast?
If you want to do conspiracy podcast, we could do that all day.
And
all day.
This coming from the podcast that was named the Alex Joneses of ski podcasting.
That's why I like you guys.
Hey, and a lot of things we were saying back then, we were proven right on.
I'm sick of him putting stuff in the water that's turning the friggin' frogs gay. Love him or hate him, man. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
Gotta admit.
Listen, if you want to be a critical thinker, you have to be able to take information that you disagree with, look at it, and then analyze it and push it aside. But you may take out a nugget or two. That's what critical thinking is. You have to look at both sides of arguments before coming to the conclusion.
That's right. Conspiracy podcast coming 24-25 season.
Tinfoil skis. We're wearing tinfoil skis.
Tinfoil ski helmet.
I think this could be a thing.
Oh Lord, it's gonna be great.
You
know what though? We talked about my drinking, man. What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm going hard tonight. I'm going hard.
Boy.
I've been talking about all my ailments, and so last week I thought I had strep throat, and it's not that I'm even a hypochondriac. I really hadn't felt good in months. Went to the doctor. It was not strep throat. It was a sinus infection, boys and girls. So if you had that on your bingo card, congratulations, you're the big winner. I got on some pretty chill but still decent antibiotics, and I think I finally kicked it for today. But now I find out. So check this out. Friday, we got a note from school that one kid in kindergarten has lice. So that could be a thing that we get. And just yesterday, we went to this trampoline park. We had the best time. It was so much fun. This morning, son comes in at 6 a.m. Mommy, my eye hurts. Guess who's got pink eye? Then it's just nonstop.
One right after the other,
one
man.
after the other. So I am not hitting it hard today. I have got my wonderful Yeti mug with my traditional medicinals extra nighty night.
Extra nighty night. Oh, little bear.
So cute. I got chamomile. I got valerian root in here. I'm just being a sweet little angel because it's a Monday night and God damn it, I got 4 more days to go. I got to survive 4 more days till the next weekend. So I'm trying to add some longevity.
Hey man, some nights you got to take it easy. Sometimes you need help sleeping. I know I do from time to time. That stupid machine I have to hook to my face every night doesn't always cut it.
Oh, you got to wear one of those sleep apnea?
Yeah, we're still figuring that out. I mean, I hate to admit that it works, but it does.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks, but what are you gonna do? But sometimes you need a little tea in your life. Plus, the dry show is the classy show.
We're keeping it classy. That's what we do. Yeah. Nothing wrong with
To-
being a little bit classy sometimes.
Actually, to that point, I was a little annoyed because I was out of town. I had to get back here today. Day didn't start off too good. We were talking about this. There's ice flying around and whatever. I was thinking about bringing on another vice. I was thinking about stopping at the local cigar store and picking out something nice.
There you
Not to say
go.
I was ever heavy into it. Like I was never an aficionado by any means, but I like to have them now and again. It's been a while since I've done it, and I was like, maybe I'll just go get something mild, something like of an Ashton or something like this. And, just kind of sit here and, while Brian has his classy drinks, I'll have my classy smoke and we'll do the whole thing.
I think that's actually sounds perfect for the Conspiracy podcast.
Cigars for conspiracy. I can't even say. I haven't even had a drink in years. Conspiracy. Absolutely. I'm going to be working on that logo like all morning tomorrow. Like I swear to God.
It's going to be fun, right?
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ready.
I could definitely hit the sauce then, and then we can go and
we get
very
stupid.
lunar directions. That's for sure.
Conspiracy Ski Podcast, where if you want to get stupid, we'll get stupid.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. That's awesome.
We're doing double backflips off Corbets in our minds.
Oh, nobody's doing double black flips off of Corbets this year, my friend.
This is true. And I think with that,
let's go to ski news.
Yes, as we alluded to here, Kings and Queens of Corbets is canceled this year. Aww. Now, I actually reposted on X and I was like, oh man, and we finally got our entry to be a competitor this year. This was the first year we made it. And
yay!
Sons of bitches. So Jackson Hole Ski Patrol, Mountain Operations, event leadership, and current/former competitors worked together last week to assess conditions in the couloir for the competition scheduled for March 3rd through 10th. 80 inches of snow has blanketed the resort in the past 2 weeks, and the mountain is open wall to wall. However, Corbett's couloir requires specific weather factors to fill in properly and create a competition-worthy environment that supports landing mind-blowing tricks and carrying high speed through it. Unfortunately, this last storm didn't deliver what we needed. Upon first-hand inspection of the snowpack within the couloir, the competitors agreed that conditions are not at the level needed to run an elite competition. However, they all agreed that it is skiable for those with expert abilities. We are working to open Corbets to our guests very soon and will update you when it's ready. So, kind of a bummer. They are looking to do it again next year, but this year there will be no kings and queens crowned. So, good thing is for last year's winners, they will remain royalty for another year.
That is a bonus for them.
So we got to find the positives. You got to find those silver linings.
You do. And like you said, it's going to be open to the public. So that's cool. It's just not competition worthy.
Yeah. And, I mean, last year, everybody out west, they just got so pummeled. There was so much snow. I've got my backup in case of emergency break glass here. My high west from the good folks at Ski Utah, because they had 903 inches of snow.
Jeez,
903 inches of snow, which is bananas. And
wicked.
Jackson wasn't too far off of that. But, every year is not 2023. Good, bad, or indifferent. We play the hand we're dealt. And this year, there will be no kings and queens.
I think it's good for them, though. Like, take a year off. See if people really want this. Like, it is a super huge competition. It has a lot of names that it draws, professional, athletes, but, it's one of those competitions. I wonder, is it really, do people really like it, or is it because it's cool to like it that people like it? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I watch it and I do find it incredible what they're capable of, because I've skied over to it, looked at it, and gone, Jesus fucking Christ, and then carefully skied away from it.
Yep.
So there's mad respect for it. It's just crazy how, one of my favorite Warren Miller movies in the last little bit is always Line of Descent. I love that movie. And that's the 2017 one. And they show Jackson, they show, Corbets in the beginning of it. And they show griffin post kind of launching into it, and you see him launching like 40 feet into it and landing it. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy. And now you see they've built up that start that's even higher up now, and
Yep.
people doing the double backflips into it. Like, at what point are they just gonna like drop people from a helicopter just into it? You know, like it just becomes more and more extreme.
Well, I mean, that's progression. Like, you gotta keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. I've talked about these things with other people too. I think I might have talked about it with you guys before how the stuff that you see now that's being done in competition, whether it be King and Queens or the Olympics, World Cups, X Games, what have you. We used to see that stuff playing SSX back on the PlayStation. That's where you saw that. It's goofy and cartoony and fun, and you have to hit your X and triangle and stuff to make it happen. People are doing it. Like they're taking their feet out of bindings and all kinds of crazy stuff. So maybe since it's an off season, we're out there now with our clipboards and our pens and our papers talking about, all right, so if we jump out of the helicopter there, pull the chute there, and then, hit the wingsuit here, and then we could do the backflip off the wingsuit and into the couloir, I win.
Yeah.
But you don't because someone else is going to do it 3 times. You got to go bigger.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
go bigger.
And again, back to that Line of Descent movie, they have a segment a few after that where the guys are up at Mustang Powder,
Mm.
and they're in bindingless snowboards. And I've never wanted to snowboard, but watching that clip, I was like, that looks super fun, because that's mimicking more surfing, because you don't have the bindings, you're just kind of going along in the powder there. And that's what these guys were even saying when they talked to them. They're like, if I wanted to get better in snowboarding, I had to be doing things that were so much more extreme, that are putting my body into so much more dangerous positions if I don't pull it off.
Mhm.
To be progressing, you have to be going so much bigger. He's like, with this, like I can actually really enjoy the sport again. Which, like you got to think the pressure these guys and gals are under to oh, we got to do another half a turn, we got to do another quarter twist, we got to do another flip. Like, it's awesome that they're pushing it, but you also see why you can't do this too deep into your 30s
No, you
because
can't go forever.
you can't.
It's funny you bring up those bindingless things. I used to feel about them and maybe still do a little bit the same way you feel about the snow bikes, man. Put all those shit on Thunderdome and just let's do it there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they do have leashes though. That's the thing.
They do have leashes, and actually, that you guys were talking about that on Sam Weintraub 1 or 2, I can't remember which. And I was like, well, it's not just about the equipment; it's about the asshole riding it. Hit and run. It wasn't necessarily a snow bike, but I like the Thunderdome idea, man. Welcome
But
to Thunderdome. Let's go.
how would you stop on a snow bike quickly?
I don't know how it works. I've never tried it.
They're
I
way
will.
too heavy, and they don't really have brakes. It's your boots. You're
No.
using you're Flintstoning yourself to a stop. Is what
You
you're
are. See, Tim from Ski Rex Media will openly admit I never know what I'm talking about. So, I all I can say though is when I first saw a snow deck, I thought I couldn't believe it. Actually, I just saw one in Tim Smith. Shout out Tim Smith, president GM over there at Waterville. He has one in his office and was thinking about buying a second one. So,
Really?
shout out to him. He's going to Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
I like the idea of Thunderdome because I want to be in Thunderdome. I want
Yeah,
to be Mad Max, man.
you sign a waiver, like we take no responsibility for what goes down in here. You can bring whatever you want. You
Dude,
can
I'll be bringing lunch trays.
rocket powered snowboard, whatever you need. But again, that's all quarantined over to the Thunderdome section of the mountain.
Rocket skis like in Ski Patrol, man.
There you go, right?
Telling me.
Simpler times.
Man, those movies of the 90s were great. And actually, one of your other stories, unless you have more for the Color, the King of Queens of Corbets.
Well, I was really just gonna use it as a segue to the queen the queen of the gondola over in Heavenly.
Actually, that's where I was going with the 90s movies. Well, it was after the 90s, it was 2010. But I was also going to go with a movie to segue into that.
Beautiful.
So have at it, sir. Tell them what you're telling them.
There was a woman trapped for 15 hours overnight in a gondola at Heavenly Ski Resort in California.
Yeah, she was.
This story is just so bizarre. An
bizarre.
investigation is underway after a woman spent the night trapped in a gondola at Heavenly Ski Resort in California. Monica Lasso from Chile found herself alone and suspended in the gondola cabin overnight with no means of communication and no way to attract attention from the workers below. Incorrect. She could have jumped out. That would have definitely garnered attention.
Oh, it would have.
She wasn't trying hard enough. The incident occurred on the evening of January 26th during a ski trip with 5 friends from different countries. Lasso's friends initially reported her missing after she fell behind due to exhaustion. According to Momo Sternel, one of Lasso's friends, she was guided to the gondola by a resort worker, but became stranded as it froze during her descent. Despite pounding on the windows and attempting to signal workers, Lasso remained suspended for the entire night. Rescue efforts were unsuccessful during the night, and Lasso's survival was attributed to the relatively mild conditions. She did not locate a survival kit in the gondola. Heavenly Mountain Resort, a popular ski destination, expressed its commitment to guest safety. I mean, she was safe in there. Like, no bears got her, right?
Yeah, she was fine, relatively speaking, depending on the danger you're talking about.
Tom Fortune, VP and COO of Heavenly Mountain Resort and the Tahoe region, stated, "The safety and well-being of our guests are our top priority. The incident is currently under investigation." All right, so how did she even get on this? Like, they don't just let people on the gondola, then just like turn it off and leave the people there.
I know how it happened. I can tell you how it happened.
There.
So, dude who was taking her over to the gondola was going to let her download. He was throwing his game. He was shooting his shot, as the kids say. She turned him down, and he's like, "Bitch," and he put her in the gondola. That's what happened. Guaranteed. You heard it here. That's my theory. I don't know if it's real, so don't go crazy now. But to end up in a gondola overnight, like, the first thing when this story broke, I thought of it, like I was saying about a movie, was the movie Frozen, not Elsa. Do you want to build a snowman? Not that. It was Frozen from 2010. It had Sean Hattie, a couple other people. Really awful movie. Like, awful. Like, I don't like it, and I can tell you why.
It was supposed to be Massachusetts, right? That movie?
It was. I think it was actually supposed to take place specifically at Wachusett.
Okay.
And they tried their best to make it look. This is how they tried to make it look like a Massachusetts mountain. They had Newberry Comics signs like out along the trails, like sponsors, and like that's a real thing. Is Newberry Comics is a very real New England comic and bookstore, and that's great. They're out of Boston, so Wachusett makes sense. Fun fact, I think Newberry Comics actually was one of the sponsors that Opie and Anthony used to do reads for on WAAF. So there's an old fact for you.
Way back machine.
Way back. But it was filmed in Utah, the movie. And it looks like Utah, which doesn't look like Pennsylvania. You know, and just as a side note, I hate that. There was also like a Sasquatch movie or something filmed that was supposed to take place in the Pine Barrens. I was like, that's the Pacific Northwest. And I was actually right, but it was even more Pacific Northwest because it was in Canada. Not New Jersey, Canada. So anyway,
didn't they rename the Pine Barrens?
Did they? Oh,
they renamed it like some governor state park or something.
Oh, that's a shame. Pine Barrens is a great name for that place.
Or maybe I'm just stupid. No, I think they did keep.
No, that happens nowadays. Like, things get renamed for the oddest reasons, and the Pine Barrens is awesome. Like, if you're in New Jersey and you've never been, go down. It's very cool.
Okay, so the Pine Barrens Reserve. Contains the Brendan T. Byrne State Forest, which is part of it. Okay.
Yes.
I thought they renamed the Pine Barrens as like the Brendan T. Byrne Forest Lands, which would have been completely idiotic. But
actually, the Brendan Byrne Forest was actually called something else before that too. I know where that is. I didn't live far from there where I live. That's not far from the part of Jersey I lived in. Heading down Route 70 out of Ocean County towards like Cherry Hill and those places.
Yeah, you're spot on, man. That's and again, another Sopranos reference. Pine Barrens, one of the best episodes ever.
Oh yeah, there's bodies out there. I had a friend.
No joke.
I had a friend who found one.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, that was
Russian.
They don't know. I just know that she told us. She's like, we were out as kids playing. We see somebody out, kind of looked like they were passed out in their fishing boat on the lake. So we were good citizens. We went, called the cops, 911. They go out there. He had one right between the eyes.
Damn.
One GSW. He was a hit. And they
Wow.
left him there. So that's real. I'll also say, I'll go
Art
on record.
imitates life.
It does. I'll also go on record and say that the Jersey Devil is real. I've seen some crazy stuff in the Pine Barrens, man.
Look at you.
Just saying. I lived
Just
in
saying.
Jersey. I don't lie about it. But I lived in I lived in a different part than Brian. Different part. And
I'm not that far from the Pine Barrens.
yeah, you're not. You're really not. Well, honestly, nothing's far in New Jersey. New Jersey's small. It's just got a lot of
Yeah.
traffic, so it takes a while to get places.
But the north and south, it's pretty. If you're going east to west, it's pretty short. But north to south, it's take a few hours.
It could take a little while to get the AC. Tell you that.
Yeah.
Unless you're really flying, it's like 3 a.m.
Get a black Lamborghini, turn the lights off.
Oh, Cannonball Run.
Way to do it.
We're gonna just end up doing the movie podcast too, man. I could talk movies all day.
Why not?
And I feel like I feel like we're getting distracted more than you and Mario get distracted. So I hope you all like the different experience with guest host Terrio.
I assure you, Mario and I get very distracted. Again, this whole thing with the lady in the gondola, though, I don't know how she got stuck up there. I do like your theory, Tim. I think there's it could it holds some water. We'll find out more, I'm sure. I mean, she was from Chile, so I don't know. Maybe I don't even know. Maybe she didn't have a phone. Maybe she didn't have a working cell phone.
Possible.
I don't know if how good her English was. So there's a lot of things that could have. The person named Momo was their friend. When you got a friend named Momo, you're definitely going to be in trouble.
Maybe Momo's a name, though. I mean, it's not like you used to hear that on The Sopranos, too. Hey, Momo.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz says that a lot, too. He's from Jersey.
Momo.
But I don't know. It's just a weird story. Like, all kidding aside, that doesn't happen. And that was one of the things about that movie that really got to me when I first saw it. I was like, this doesn't happen. I understand it's fiction, but this is so far removed from anything that could ever actually happen. Like if Superman showed up, then I would have bought it. Fine. That's fiction. But here you're like trying to say this, and it's a horror-ish kind of thing because of the situation, not because of monsters. There's a whole to-do. There's like a wolf attack in it too, which there aren't wolves in Massachusetts, which is really silly, but whatever. The movie was dog shit. But this whole thing with this woman, she's in there and she's fine. She's fine. I mean, I'm sure she's pissed.
Yeah.
But she's fine.
What would you do if you were in that situation? Obviously you probably have a cell phone with coverage and enough battery life to call somebody.
That would be my first try.
Yeah.
And a lot of mountains, they do have cell service because that's where they put the towers, are on top of those mountains. So you have service.
Spots, yeah.
Yeah. So I would absolutely make the call. And I'd say, so I'm in the gondola. I'm not 100% sure where on the line I am. I can't see the number on the tower, but I'm here. I'll sign my light off the back of my phone. You'll find me.
Yeah.
It should have been like a 20-minute, half-hour ordeal for the lady. It really should have been.
Yeah.
And that's the part that gets to me. Is like you said, what didn't she have? English might be their second language. Maybe no working cell phone. But who knows, man? It says she didn't locate a survival kit. I didn't know there was one in the car.
That's good to know.
That is good to know. I had no idea that was a thing.
She had plenty of time to look around the cart. The cart is not that big.
Yeah, no, she had plenty of time.
She could have scoped out every single square centimeter of that place.
Oh, totally. Like right down to the littlest micron. I know that if I was in that situation, I'd be so pissed. I'd be livid. Like you'd be able to find me not because I'm shining a light. You could hear the swear words echoing across the mountains. Like I would have kicked a window out and just been like, "These motherfuckers," and just lost my damn mind.
Yeah.
Just lost my mind.
But again, how did they even load the gondola without knowing? Don't they usually communicate like, hey, this is the last car, we're shutting it down, no one else is getting on?
Yes. And the argument could be made from this, it feels like she was downloading, maybe. That's kind of the way I understood it. But even so, you pick up, either you use the little phone that's in the shack, or you make the call on the radio, said, hey, I got one coming down, it's car 25.
Yeah.
Just wait. But she goes, and then they shut it down at the bottom, and then maybe this dude skied down if it's from the top, or even if it's the bottom. Everybody just walked away from the lift and said nothing. Just said nothing. Like,
Yeah.
did that
Well,
chick ever
see you
make
later.
it down? Yeah. What chick? I don't know. I'm going to the bar.
Yeah.
What? Like, somebody's losing their job and should. Like,
It's one of those
absolutely.
things. It's not one mistake. There's like 5 mistakes that had to happen for
There
something
is a
like this.
lot
Yeah.
that went wrong there. And, I'm glad she's okay. Again,
Thoughts
they
and
said it was
prayers.
mild. Yeah, thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. And, she's okay. And it was a mild night. And as long as she was dressed for it, she would have been fine. But then the rescue efforts were unsuccessful during the night. You couldn't just turn it back on?
Yeah, right. It's like you turn the key and it fires everything back up.
I mean, uh, what did they say? Well, it's 2 a.m. Rescuers. We're not going to wake up our lifties to come start up the gondola. Like, bitch, come start up the gondola.
Tim, Heavenly is owned by Vail Resorts. Vail Resorts is a publicly traded company. They have stockholders. Do you know this would have cut into their bottom line if they would have saved this woman's life?
Yes,
It would have cost. It would have taken pennies off of their quarterly
You're right.
earnings per share, and they could not have that. Not in this market.
You're right. I forgot to think of the investor.
Think of the investor. Remember,
I forgot about them.
Vail Resorts, shareholders first. Skiers, 5th or 6th. People in the gondola, 20th.
And just so it's said, Tim is skiing for the Epic Pass this season. Thank you to the New Hampshire Epic Mountains Wildcat, Attitash, Crotchet, and Mount Sunapee for giving me that opportunity. I do have a lot of fun there, and they don't have gondolas for you to get stuck in. So shout out to New England. We're still New England here.
That's right.
We're not leaving you in the gondola. There's nobody getting caught in the tram at Cannon.
That's right. And you know
It's
what?
not
If you
happening.
do, just jump out of it, baby.
I mean,
Dan
Egan's
Egan.
did it.
Dean Deacon style. Yeah.
We were going to do it, but our photographer didn't show up. Scumbag.
Last year, can't jump out of the tram at Cannon. This year, can't do Corbets, Kings and Queens of Corbets.
This is bullshit, dude.
It's a bullshit conspiracy against us, man.
It is. It's the left-wing media coming after the Alex Joneses and me now. I throw my hat in. Making the friggin' frogs gay.
Coming soon.
Ugh. Conspiracy.
Well,
speaking
of ugh. Now we missed this last week. I'm not gonna lie, but
okay.
Norwegian skier Aleksander Aamodt Kilde grateful for support after being airlifted to hospital following brutal crash. We all know Aleksander Kilde, amazing skier. He won the World Cup a couple years ago, overall champion. And we all know him as Michaela Schifrin's boy toy.
Yep, he's Mr. Schifrin.
Mr. Schifrin, he did have a brutal accident at the Lauberhorn course in Wengen, Switzerland, about 2 weeks ago, before losing balance and plowing into the safety net. Now, he was going, I think, about 75 miles an hour, they said, when he crashed. And he went hard into the fence. And in doing so, he sliced his calf. And also, I don't know if he sliced his labrum or something in his shoulder he also hacked. And he was kind enough to post on Instagram the picture of his calf. And goddamn, if you have a squeamish stomach, I don't recommend checking out. If you want a description, imagine going to the butcher and buying like a top round. Take that top round, put it on a cutting board, and just hack it in half.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what his calf looked like. It's pretty rough.
It's brutal, dude. He looked like he got hit by a truck.
Dude, it's bad.
Like, there are people who say skiing's a wimpy sport. Like, he got hit by a truck and there was no truck.
Yeah, that thing just hacked his calf. And again, was it the ski? Was it the fencing? Like,
Who knows?
when you're I don't even know if it's a replay. I watched it a couple times just to see if I could see anything, and it's just such a blur because it's not super zoomed in, obviously, and he was flying.
Oh
and
yeah.
I guess he lost balance, and then there's one turn left before the finish, and it's just because you got to think too. Imagine what a World Cup racer's skis, how they must be tuned.
Oh yeah.
So it could definitely have been the ski, but also hitting that netting that's probably 65, 70 miles an hour
Oh yeah.
is just as nasty. It's the safety part is not really there anymore at that speed.
Yeah,
But
no, it doesn't matter. Helmets and that stuff. I mean, something helped him. Obviously, he's alive. He's okay.
good
You know,
spirits, yeah.
good spirits. He'll live to fight another day. He's got his super skier girlfriend to take care of him. Except she's hurt now too, so they could
Yeah.
be a hurt family together. But
It's
man,
time for them to start making some super ski babies, man.
super ski babies,
Super
man.
ski babies.
It's the only person who will ever be able to beat her records. Would be her
Her
offspring.
offspring. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's it. Like the best you could do. And that's even a big if. Like you might have to change the laws and allow doping and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you might have to allow steroids for it to happen.
Yeah.
Because she's an animal.
Or you get a trans skier to just destroy all the women's records.
That's gonna happen.
Maybe he'll come back as a woman.
Alexandra.
Alexandra Kilde, and just destroy all the records.
It all depends on how he did it. If he's doing it because he's really doing it, I don't care. If he does it, comes out at the end and just said, I want all the records. She pissed me off one night.
Imagine
We
they
were
broke
arguing
up.
about dinner. Oh, yeah.
He broke up and he's like, I'm breaking all your records, bitch.
Dude, that was an episode of South Park. Did you ever see that
Yes.
episode of South Park?
Yep.
What's her name? Vice Principal Strong Woman.
Yeah.
Her ex, who was that Macho Man. Yeah, oh yeah. I love Macho Man back in the day. He comes and just destroyed them all.
That's
See? So it could happen.
it's possible.
If South Park says it can happen, it can happen.
They have called. I mean, The Simpsons. Their record of calling things is almost disturbing.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
I don't know if they're just like tied into the Illuminati or something, and they're just like throwing little nuggets at you that will come true in like 20 years. But their record is pretty on point.
Except the thing that bothers me about The Simpsons is it kind of proves a point I always said about the Nostradamus prophecies. I was like, they said it then, and we're just putting the pieces in now. Like he totally predicted that. Like it's so vague.
Yeah.
But the Simpsons stuff, some of it's a lot closer to spot on than vague.
Yeah.
I have to admit. So I don't know, man. But it could happen if Alexandra wants to come out and wreck shop after Michaela breaks his heart and turns to evil Michaela, which is something we talked about that at the World Cup, me and a couple of the other guys who were standing there. In fact, actually, in one of your episodes, it might have been in the Damon Emerald episode, you were talking about watching it on TV, and I forgot because I was listening to the car. I meant to text you later that day and be like, dude, did you see me down in the pit? Like I was there. I had the high vis on and everything.
That's the beauty of the high vis.
Huh?
That's the beauty of the high vis.
That is, you could find me on
camera.
Viz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm high visible. But she was so she was talking to Doug Lewis after, at the podium when she won on slalom day, I think. Or no, maybe it was GS day because she was in third. And she used the S word openly, which I thought was hysterical because this is on some NBC affiliate somewhere. And we're like, oh, naughty language. I'm like, oh, she's like evil Michaela now. Like, remember when Tiger came back after all this shit went down and he had the goatee and shit? I was like, now we're at evil Michaela era where she's just going to come and start kicking bitches off the podium and stuff. It's going to be great.
Just wearing like black leather when she's skiing.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. And she's just going to dominate even worse and make it
dyes
hurt.
her hair black. Like, just red lipstick. Like,
oh, it'd be amazing.
Black Widow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, me and Petra, we have a friendly rivalry. Now it's just like, bitch.
Yeah. You want some of this?
Be awesome. Petra was not happy that she came in second that day either. She was not happy because her run was flawless and she lost by like less than a second. I felt bad.
I remember just watching those races, and I don't watch a ton of women's skiing, but I always watch the Killington race, and you just watch how some of these women just at the top that had really strong runs, they were skiing so violently because that's a tough course, and Michaela just is so smooth. Like she always looks in control and fast, but she wasn't making all those hard, jarring turns. It
No.
was so much smoother down, which is why she doesn't waste all the energy up top and then lose it all at the bottom like a lot of them did.
She makes it look effortless. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous how good she really is. And to see it in person is ridiculous. 100% suggested. If they get the race back, I think last year was the last contracted one. But I'm
They
sure
were
they'll
doing
get
like
it back.
one ups like every year, right? They weren't like doing like the
Yeah,
long
I think
blocks.
so. But I'm sure they'll get it back if they want it, because the Americans love that course, the racers, the women, the American women, the foreign women all love this course. They love it. They can't say enough good things about coming to Killington. They all love it.
That's awesome.
Brigioni there from Italy,
Frederica, yeah.
Federica, who is stunning in person. Like, I don't mean to sound like a pig, but I was like, oh my goodness, you're freaking gorgeous, my God. But beauty in the eye of the beholder. But
Mario might be skiing with her right now. Who knows?
I hope he is. I hope
Yeah.
he is. She's a lot of fun. Actually, the Italians were a lot of fun because we were standing next to their whole group. Even the people who didn't have to ski that day were down there cheering on the other teammates. Like,
That's
team,
cool, yeah.
sportsmanship and team like camaraderie for them is a thing, and they loved it. They were very cool. A lot of fun to talk to. But again, they all said that course, that is the course. They love that course.
That's great.
And they love that crowd. There's no crowd like that on the circuit anywhere in the world. Highly suggested. If they get it back and they run it again, if you can get up to it, do it. It's worth it.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun.
I have
But
the dumbest question about that.
Sure.
Where do they stay? The racers, do they just rent like a house, like an Airbnb, and every team has like their own house, or do they stay at the Grand Hotel? Do they like,
I hope they're not standing
they
at
stay at like the Pine, like the Bear Pine Motel? Like, I've always wanted to know that.
It's a good question, and I actually had that same question. Because I hope it's not at the Killington Grand. That place looks like it was built in 98, and it was. It was actually built in 97, I think. 97 or 98. And it looks like it.
I stayed there once, and I was very excited. And I
It's
got there, and it was extremely underwhelming.
It is. It sucks. It's now it's dated. It's mostly timeshares anyway.
Yeah.
The Grand Summit Hotel at Mount Snow is the same. If you all remember the American Skiing Company, shout out to Dan Egan, who on the Ski 603 podcast just had Les Auten, it would seem. I haven't listened to it yet, but he's there. And I've been trying to track down Les for like a year and a half now. Almost had him and didn't get him. I was pissed. But anyway, they built all these different summit hotels, and it's like they didn't take care of them. Like, I haven't been in the one at Mount Snow in a while, but that Killington Grand, my sister got married there, and I was not impressed with anything but the food. Like, it was pretty rough, but I hope they're not staying there. But if it's any indication, I was talking to someone at Waterville Valley, and they just had their World Cup last weekend, and for moguls and dual moguls, and one of the women who works there, shout out to Abby there, she said she was on there renting every single thing she could find in the area for athletes and coaches and trainers and technicians, and then production crews and NBC and whoever else had to come. Like, it's a big to do. And if she had to do that for the Waterville event, which was much smaller, I can only imagine where they're putting them. Like, I mean, I'm sure they were picking up Airbnbs, condos, houses, hotels, whatever they could get. Like, it's a big to do logistically. It's very interesting.
Yeah, well, I think Killington too has a lot more infrastructure in place than Waterville does. Like, Waterville has that little village at the bottom there, but once you get out of there, like, there's nothing to get to the highway.
Yeah, there's like right around where that village is, there's a few condo neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I guess this past week, it was the first time I ever went there to that part of it. I had never gone past the access road coming in from the interstate. So I said, you know what, since I'm here, and I was actually looking for something to drink. So I was like, I'm gonna swing down here, see if there's a convenience store. Because I was leaving at like noon, and the cafe was mobbed because it was noon. So I was like, I gotta find something. And there's a few condo neighborhoods kicking around, and I'm sure those were all rented. Hotels were rented. I'm sure they had people as far out as Plymouth You know, this was a Saturday and there were buses like going up to it, like school buses. I'm like, are those actual racer kids going to watch, or are those the actual athletes just trying to get up the hill? Yeah, because you're right. Killington has a lot going on. Waterville is more rural. It's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I
Which
think
is
there's a
one
lot
of
of
its
like either state or national forest around it too. So
Yeah.
there isn't like a lot of
Oh
buildup
yeah.
there.
No, there isn't. They actually border the White Mountain National Forest, I think.
Yeah.
And they're very happy about that because they're the first place you hit in the White Mountains coming up from Boston. So there you
Yep.
go. They get them
There you
all
go.
first. They get them all first. And then everybody then goes to Loon, which is the next one. And then I think Cannon's the next one through there. Unless you go the other way, then you go to Attitash and all that stuff over there. But yeah, it's something else. And you're right. It's interesting logistically to think about where do they put all these people. And then there's still spectators. Like for the Killington race, they're important. We get a small city in Vermont for a weekend, a whole small city's worth of people.
16,000 people they were getting.
Yeah. Like
On
this year was a
Saturday?
little on Saturday. Yeah, it was the bigger day this year, which was weird because Sunday's usually the big day. That's the slalom day. That's the day Michaela's going to win and everybody wants to see it. But there wasn't as many this time, but she did come in 5th last year. So maybe people thought she might have lost it. I was like, she didn't lose it. You can't come in first every time. And she'll tell you that.
Yeah. She came in 3rd this year, right?
3rd GS day, 1st slalom day.
Yeah.
So she podiumed 2 days in a row. And then I think she might have gotten podium the next week in at Treblant. So she's still kicking ass and taking names.
She's just adding numbers to her records.
I think she's at 96 now, 96 total.
That's so insane. She's what, 27? I think.
Yeah, 27. And this was like her first real injury, and it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
Like it's an unbeatable record.
And you wonder too, like, is she going to shift to the downhill then? Which, a lot of skiers, when they get a little older, they're not doing the slalom.
Yeah.
As
might
much,
as well.
and they move towards the downhill. Because I know she's done it a couple times.
And won.
But it's not like her focus. But
no.
Is she going to start shifting to that,
and
to more of that than the slalom?
Yeah, if she's more open to the Super G and downhill, that might as well keep adding more records, unbeatable records. Yeah. Where does it end? She sky's the limit. Like she's really gets to choose the record. It's hers to choose.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex, that your girlfriend overshadows you so much that we were talking about you and then we ended up talking about her. Sorry, buddy.
And part of the reason why I even want to talk about the story is that one thing from a very selfish point of view is that right now, Tim, you and I, we are better skiers than him at this moment.
At this very moment, I could tan his hide.
Crush him in any event.
Any discipline you want. I will smoke him, and Brian will smoke him right behind me. In fact, we'll do it heads up like they do in the World Pro Ski Tour.
We'll do it.
Head to head. Let's go.
Yeah.
Until he feels better, and we didn't know that, and we get there, and he comes walking up, not being rolled up in a wheelchair, and I'll be like, I hurt my back.
I hurt everything.
Screw it. I'll do it. I'll do it anyway. If I'm gonna get whooped, I might as well get whooped by the best. Like
racing for pinks.
Yeah, but I think pink's a little something different there.
Whoa, you want my 20? I was just talking about my 2006 Subaru Legacy. Pink slip.
I know what you were talking about, but I'm gonna feel like something else by the time he's done tanning my hide.
What was in that ginger ale there, Tim?
There might have been a little caffeine in there. I'm feeling a little squirrely right now, or maybe there wasn't enough caffeine. I know there was none in there, and I'm tired. I'm getting squirrely as hell.
That's all right.
But Alex, we're just kidding, man. No worries. I know you could whoop me at any given day.
We're not gonna steal your girl. Don't worry.
Respect. Nope. I don't want her. She's too young for me.
Game respects game, Alex.
That's right.
Get well soon.
Get well soon, buddy. I hope you're all right. I hope your chick's all right. And he's doing well too. Like he's no slouch. So,
dude, if you were a big, jacked, handsome Norwegian skier, you'd be doing pretty well yourself too.
Yeah, it must be nice to be the real Thor. To look at Hemsworth and be like, whatever.
He's definitely Thor adjacent, if nothing else.
He's a beautiful man.
I don't want this to sound too gay or anything, but I was watching videos of him doing squats the one day. I was like, look at that guy's goddamn legs. Like just these thighs, just massive.
He's in shape. It bothers me because it doesn't. I didn't think a skier was supposed to be built like that.
Yeah.
From a like all kidding aside, like the kid is built,
I think
and
more
it's
like
like
wiry kind of, and
I would think that
yeah.
somebody who was like not tall and like wiry, but smaller and wiry.
Like just all legs, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just legs and shoulders, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like that thing from Monsters Inc., the green thing there, Mike Wazowski or whatever his name is. Like that's a skier,
Yeah.
and but this kid, he's throwing up, putting weight on these bars, and it's just like, and then crushing. But then again, physics, I don't know, weight, maybe, gravity, faster. I have no idea. I don't know how it works.
It does make a lot of sense because, and we actually talked about this on one of our podcasts when Mario and I were kind of getting a little stupid. Well, like, what if, like, I think we talked about Lindsey Vonn, if she came back and just gained like 50 pounds, like, would she be better in the downhill? Like, just got like fat and just was like, again, because of physics, like just flying. Would
But
that help?
kept the legs together because you need the legs.
You need the legs. Because again, if your top starts getting a little to the side,
Yeah.
like all up there, that's a problem. Because snapping that back,
She'd
it's like
be-
the G forces going sideways.
She might be in pain in the core, but she might gain a few, seconds on her times. Just fat. It'd be awesome. I'd love to see her gain the weight and do it.
Right?
That'd be great. I'm not
Just
I'm
like-
not fat phobic.
Just all button thighs. Just
That'd be
all,
so-
just all button thighs. Just like woo, like
Skiing.
Medea, ski Medea, like just,
Skimadea.com. Thick with 3 C's. Go get her, Lindsay.
that's right.
Shout out to Lindsey Vaughn.
The
Brian's
comeback.
actually met her. I haven't.
The comeback, the
Oh, it'd be amazing.
thick comeback.
She's arrogant, though. That's the thing that bothered me about Lindsay Vaughn. She's like, I want to ski with the men. I would have let her. I'm like, go for it. Your times mean nothing.
Come in 30th place.
Yeah. Like, are you technically better? Yes, but physics, that's a thing. Sorry. Come
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
We can actually segue into your last story with the physics part because, again, how are people doing shit like this? I don't understand.
Yeah, we got one final story here, and we alluded to it a little earlier. I think didn't we talk about the X Games? Maybe we did it
Little
before
bit.
we started
I think we
recording.
did before we started. Yeah.
Winter X Games Aspen 2024 went down this past weekend, and the big story is that Chloe Kim is making her first X Games appearance since 2021. And she did not disappoint, becoming the first woman to land a 1260 in snowboard competition. She tied Kelly Clark's record for most wins, 7, by winning the women's super pipe. And then double Olympic champion Eileen Gu returned to the X Games after last year's injury and won the freestyle half pipe. She skis for China, but was an American.
Yep.
Take that however you want. Here's a couple names of the winners. Women's snowboard slopeside, Mia Brooks was the winner. Women's snowboard super pipe, Chloe Kim. Men's snowboard knucklehuck, Liam Brearley. Men's ski big air, Troy Podmilsack. Sorry if I'm messing it up, Troy. You're way better than I am. So
Shout out, Troy.
Shout out, Troy. Men's snowboard super pipe, Scotty James. That one I could pronounce. Men's ski slopestyle, Burke Rude, Norwegian. Pals with Aleksander Kilde, I'm sure. Women's snowboard knucklehuck, Kokomo Marasi. Women's ski knucklehuck, Olivia Asseline. Women's ski superpipe, Eileen Gu. Women's ski big air, Tess Ledoux. Men's snowboard big air, Taiga Hasagawa. Men's ski knucklehuck, Colby Stevenson. Men's snowboard slopestyle, Red Gerard.
There you go. There's a name I know.
There's Red. My wife loves her sister's Instagram. His sister's Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Tegan Gerard. She has this
Shout out to Tegan.
half-baked harvest. Shout out. Your recipes are so good.
Shout out to the Gerard family.
Talented family, man. Well-rounded.
Oh, yeah.
Women's ski slopestyle, Tess Ledoux again. Men's ski superpipe, Alex Ferreira. women's snowboard big air, Kokomo Marasi again. Huge shout out to all the winners. I
Yeah.
got to watch a little bit of the X Games. I didn't watch too much. I watched some of the pre-prime time, which is the weird stuff. That's not
Yes.
as exciting. Which, I wanted to watch the good stuff, but I just didn't. Every year I get excited to watch the X Games, and then I always find a way to blow it. So that's
I
on me.
mean,
Congrats and shout out to the winners.
absolutely, man. That's awesome that Chloe Kim is coming up the way everybody kind of hoped she would. I don't think anybody knew, because she come out, what was that, last year before? Like, I'm going to go to college. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And she goes to Princeton, Jersey, right on. And, she's doing her thing and she's having fun on, she's not, doesn't really do the influencer thing, but she dresses up and takes pictures when she's out on the town on Instagram and stuff, very pretty young lady. And here she comes after a 3-year hiatus from the X Games. Like, hey, oh, by the way, I'm going to do something you can't do, and throw a 1260. And it's not like she's a big person. She's little.
Mm-hmm.
And she throws a 1260 in half pipe. Like,
and
I love Kelly Clark. I do, but she never did that.
And guess where Chloe could be practicing 365 7 days a week?
Big snow, American
Jersey's
dream.
home to year-round skiing. Look at that. Look at my lasers. Yes.
Can I do that?
I just made lasers.
Shit, I can't do it. That's awesome.
How did I make lasers? That was pretty awesome.
So you got metal. Make skiing metal again, man.
I made balloons before. I don't know how that happened, and now I made metal.
We're such simpletons, dude. What the fuck? It was awesome.
You got to be something.
It's awesome.
But something. Yes,
you're right. She crushes, and she'd be crushing at Big Snow American Dream. Jersey's home.
If she wanted to be an accountant, she'd be the best goddamn accountant ever. Like, there's just certain people who are just so good at being good at things.
Yeah.
And she seems to be one of those people.
Yeah, she really is. Like, it's amazing how well she's done just coming up. And again, another youngster. If she wants to keep going, she can break more records.
Yeah.
Every generation, man, they seem to just be pushing further and further. And we were talking about that too before we were recording. Eileen Gu, you know what? Whatever. Or Eileen Go. I don't remember how it's actually pronounced. She's good. She dominates. She went over to China. Steven Crowder had a problem with it. I don't like Crowder anymore. Just not in my wheelhouse anymore. Whatever. But shout out to her too. But Chloe Kim, man, that's awesome. She destroys. She destroys. Love her.
Yeah.
Incredible. Friggin' kids.
Congrats to everyone who competed, who won. Another year in the books.
Yeah,
X
man.
Games. Aspen.
Another fun thing to see in person if you get the chance. I've gone twice. Worked at one, went to the other. It's fun.
Nice. Well, speaking of being at big events, you kind of alluded to it before.
Mm-hmm.
Main topic, Tim, Ski Rex Media, you were just at Waterville Valley for the freestyle competition.
Yes.
How was that?
I had a good time. I really did. Part of the reason I wanted to go is A, it's a World Cup event and they can be great. B, I'm a media person, so I can get the clicks and the likes and the whatnot. And C, I wanted to see how it differed from the Killington World Cup. The Killington World Cup being women's slalom and GS. As we said, Michaela Schifrin, Petra Vilova, Paula Moltzen, all these, names, Federica Brignoni, all these people. And, that are really good. Side note from that, I did want to just tell everybody you can have a laugh at my expense. I bombed a joke in front of Wendy Holdener so bad. It wasn't because English was her second language. It was just that bad of a joke. And she looked at me like I had 3 heads. So shout out to Wendy and the Swiss team. There you go. But I wanted to see how it was different. Logistically, I wanted to see how it was the venue. For instance, for those who have never been to Killington, the Superstar Trail where the races are held comes right into the main lodge's backyard. You could conceivably, if you wanted to, ski off a Superstar into the parking lot. It's right there. Where Lower Bobby's Run at Waterville Valley, where the Moguls course was, you have to ski to it or take a lift up and walk down to it or walk up to it. It's not in the backyard, and it can't be because it needs a steep run. But that wasn't the only thing that was different. The other thing that's different is the Killington race. You can't see the whole thing from the bottom. You get the last little bit. For this Killington event, the moguls and dual moguls, you get the whole track. You can see it. Every sight line is perfect because it's a smaller, it's the distance is as much, and because it's so steep, just the angle of it, it's awesome. You can see the whole thing. You can see the first jump, you can see the mogul run, you can see the second jump. It's great. Plus, they left part of the trail open that it's on. You could actually, if you wanted to, have gone up, skied down, and hung out on the side of the course and watched right next to them, basically. So you could really see them just go bomb past you. It was pretty cool. It was a cool event. It's a cool event.
Yeah, just looking at the trail map, you can see that there's like a huge wooded area at the bottom of it between where the end of the course is and, like you said, down to the base lodge area. So there's, like you said, there's no way you could see from the bottom down there.
Yeah, it's not. And if you could, that would be cool too. But you definitely need that steep. And, that's their steepest thing. And again, logistically, it was something else. They had to have everybody, Tim Smith, I did a quick interview with him, put it up as a bonus episode of the Ski Rex Media podcast. You could check that out at all the same places you can find Brian and Mario's podcast. Just put in Ski Rex Media instead of Ski Bum Podcast and you'll find it. And, he was talking about how they were building them, in the old days, like you straight built them by skiing them off. Here they were up there with a winch cat and a standard cat building. I'm really 100%. I didn't have 100% understanding of it, but they were able to build it up with the jumps, with the cats, and then ski it out. And it made for a more, how did he put it? I forget how exactly he put it, but it made the course just that much better. It's a whole to do. It was very interesting, I thought.
Yeah, that's always something I've wondered too. How do you make a mogul course that perfect? Because again, you're not gonna just let people ski on it. Because have you met people?
Yeah.
Have you seen how people ski moguls?
Yeah. Not like
the
these
average
kids.
commenter. Yeah.
I can't do it. I had someone comment on one of my on Instagram, I think it was, on one of my videos from the race, and he's like, what did he say? My MCL tour just looking at that or something. I can't remember what he said exactly, but yeah, I was like, yeah, they make it look easy. And it's not just a mogul course. It's a steep mogul course that they're hammering through. And it's very cool because you get the jumps in there too. There was a lot of hype around it because this is kind of where Waterville Valley was kind of where all that stuff started. The birthplace of the freestyle skiing. People like Wayne Wong, who was there. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he was there. He was. Nice. I missed him though. I was a little bummed out by that, but I missed him. But he was there. Back in his day, these guys were just going up and skiing the moguls that they were making just by skiing, and it was a whole other thing. And now you got kids again progressing where they're hitting, these double cork 780, 20, 1200, whatever they're doing. It's ridiculous what they can do. It really is. And I will say, if you're looking for the excitement, you would think that the event itself would be more exciting, that tricks would be more exciting than just a straight slalom race. Maybe it was because of the crowd size. Maybe it was because the commentators were different. Shout out to Doug Lewis. I don't know if you got to meet him down at Snowbound.
I met him a couple times. Yeah.
So there you go. He's great doing commentary at the Killington race. The guy who was doing it up here, he was kind of boring, kind of monotonic. It was whatever, but still fun to watch and to get the walk in, because they do set up a footpath so you can walk. You can download on the lift if you want, or you can walk down. And I chose to walk down because I've skied Waterville Valley a few times, so I wanted to see the walk. It's a nice walk. You're kind of walking in Winter Wonderland. You're kind of checking out the people as they're skiing by. Like I said, highly recommended, man. If you're here for both days, ski up to the venue on one and then walk, do the footpath on the other day. It's kind of worth it. It's kind of neat. It's a neat event. It's
different experience.
It's an experience, and it was their first time doing this. Like, they've done nationals for juniors, and again, they had the old school days of doing it, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't as precision. It wasn't as technical. So it's this, it's really their first time out doing it, and they pulled it off. And man, they put so much into it. Like, God, Tim Smith was saying they were running fiber optic cable and new electric wires up there just for the
Jeez.
event during the summer. Like the snow melted and they were just running cable, like and building stuff.
Wow.
It was a to do. It was really an accomplishment. And, being first year out, when you're successful, you could still take those notes and say, next year, this is what we're going to do different. And it's going to be great. And they've already have their second year contracted. So it's a guarantee it's going to be there.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
get up to Waterville for next year, kids. That's a lot of fun.
When was the last time they had it? Do you know?
A World Cup?
Yeah.
It was it was a while ago. I want to say it was in the 90s, and it was an alpine. It wasn't a freestyle.
Oh, so it's been a real long time then for the freestyle.
Yeah. No World Cup, no no professional national competition in freestyle. Like they have had juniors. Like last year they had junior nationals for moguls or dual moguls, maybe. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but they have done it. So they do still have some experience, but it's a World Cup. So, you have the US ski team there. You have every other ski team there. You have all of us media dummies there having fun, and I saw a couple people that I met at Killington from the media too. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
I was in the same room with James Sununu, the brother, or I think of Governor Chris Sununu. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, man. You can rub elbows with politicians, man. It's wild. It's a whole thing.
That's pretty funny.
But
Yeah,
the
it's
family owns the
sorry.
mountain, so yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it's still a
Sununu
family run, like family owned mountain, which is pretty amazing.
It
in
is the
this day and
Sununu
age.
family. The Sununu family runs it. If Chris Sununu is current governor of New Hampshire. He's not seeking re-election when the time comes. He's already said that. His father or grandfather was a big to do. Now I'm blanking on his name, but if you used to watch Murphy Brown and then they used to reference a Sununu, that was the guy. And
Was
that
it John?
family, I think that might have been it. Yeah. It's hard for me to remember. I don't have the memory I used to have.
Yeah, I just vaguely remember like back in the day hearing that name. Like maybe it was like or even like a Robin Williams skit or something talking about like politics.
Yeah, because he was down there in the House. I can't remember exactly if he was Senate, if he was representative, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, Congress. I don't know if he was in the House or the Senate, but he was definitely part of Congress, as I recall. Or he might have had something else. I can't remember. Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful, man? I need some ginkgo or something to get that mind right. But yeah, in fact, he actually spoke. The old man spoke when they opened their 6-pack chair, and he's a character, and he's a pretty funny guy and a lot of fun. Great family. God, I was having my interview with Tim Smith, president and GM. His son walked into his office, so he's there. Another person walks into his office. It was his wife's there. That she's their financial person. It's a family runs it, has run it. His family all works there. It's a family. It's probably the biggest independent hill you can come across in New England.
Yeah. It's
And
so
it's
crazy to
wonderful.
think about. Yeah. Because, there's a lot of weird stuff that's just amazing about Waterville Valley. Again, family run place.
Mhm.
Like you mentioned, the first place you hit when you're coming up 93 into the White Mountains.
Yep.
93, 91.
93. You're
93.
right.
Okay, I was right. I don't know why I second
You're right,
guessed
man.
myself. And it's just, again, you're used to everything being on epic icon, and to have
Mhm.
something that big, family run, the birthplace of freestyle skiing,
Mhm.
not the first place you would think of. So
Yeah.
I remember, and it feels very just nice there. I don't know if that's the right best way to describe it. It's nice.
I would say that's a good way to describe it because it is. It's just nice. You get off the interstate and you start driving up to it. You hit one light and then you just keep driving in. You're in the White Mountain National Forest. So you see like entrances to campgrounds and not like, your average campground, camping resort KOA. I'm talking like backcountry camp areas, trails, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, like we said.
Yeah.
It doesn't have, like Killington has Rutland right there and then Killington itself. It's kind of out there in the middle of nowhere, and it's really they do a great job. They're in a great place. They get snow when other places get rain. They know how to run their groomers. They know how to blow snow. They have an incredible snowmaking system, very state of the art. They stay on top of technology there. That new 6-pack chair they put in this season was just robots are basically running it. Like, you look at a screen, it'll tell you what's wrong with it. You just go fix it. Like, that's it.
And
It's
it's
something else.
heated. It's very impressive.
Actually, no, theirs is not heated.
Theirs isn't heated? Are you sure?
It is a bubble, but it is not heated. And I remember talking to Tim Smith about it. I was like, did you go for the heat? And I can't remember why he said they didn't go for the heat, but they didn't, because I thought it was heated too. And that's why I asked. I was like, is it heated or is it just a bubble? He's like, it's just a bubble this time, but it's an auto bubble. It'll go up and come down for you. You don't have to do anything, It's a nice chair. It is comfortable. The seats, the company that made the seats makes seats for Ferrari. Like it's a nice chair. It really is.
Like those gamer seats.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
Like a race car seat. Yeah.
I'd say if you've been in one of the like say the bubble quads or the bubble 6 at Okemo, this kicks the hell out of those.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's so much nicer. I don't know how it compares to the 8-pack at Loon. I haven't done that, but I've heard people tell me that chair is a piece. So I don't know. But I haven't been there. So
the first years are always rough on those chairs. There always seems to be little glitches or issues, but
true.
I remember when we were there last year, it was down for like an hour, and it was a media day, and there was people doing ski demos, and you just saw that chair just sitting there for an hour. And when we were there, it was me and Mario, and he had a flight that afternoon. Like, imagine you had a flight. You're like, I'll get 1 or 2 more runs in, no problem. And then your chair stops, and you're like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's a bummer too, because that chair, it did, even on its first day, it took them a little while to get it running. Like I remember, like, you saw people from the company that installed it were kind of running around trying to get this thing moving in the right direction. And
come on, Hans, get this thing fixed.
Yeah, and it was a real bummer because it's the only one of its kind in the US. It's unique.
Yeah.
But it's, now that it works, it's very cool. And it's very cool. I rode it on the first day. Like, it was fine. After they got whatever issue it was, the only other issue it had was that the auto bubble wasn't dropping or going up when it was supposed to. So you had to lift it with your butt. I know. What the fuck, dude? Like, I'm here to be pampered.
That's right.
Do I have to go back to the Hermitage? Like, I'll do it. I'll do it, because their bubble chair is just as nice. It's not. It's a nice chair, but it's not like this thing. Nothing is like this thing. This is a good one.
Yeah.
Waterville is great. I tell everybody I love it.
It doesn't feel pretentious either. It's just nice.
It's just nice, and it's got a great setup. The way, where it sits, it gets snow when others get rain. The way the mountain's got the trails cut, you can go in one direction, you can go another direction. You could go up that 6-pack, hop off, then get on a surface lift, a T-bar, and go up even further if you want and get that.
They have those race courses, or the race trails. Yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, that's
wide
nice
open, steep blues that you can just bomb down.
Yeah, Waterville. I've told a lot of people, if you're check out Waterville, it's worth the drive. And if you have an Indy Pass, you have 2 days there. And if you like the cross country, you have 2 more days on your Indy Pass there, because they have a huge cross country center too. Like, whatever you want, they can do it.
Yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised, because I again had no idea what to expect, and it was just such a we had a perfect day too. We lucked out. It was Bluebird Day, probably mid-30s, and it was just fun. It's a fun place to ski.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed I couldn't join you, because we went to Cannon like the day before or something, and it was just fog so dense we didn't even know we were standing next to the tram building.
That was the funniest thing. What's this weird building here for?
Yeah. Oh, it's only the biggest lift on the mountain, but whatever. An 80-person tram can park in there. 2 80-person trams can park in there. That's how dense the fog was, though. Like, it may sound like we're stupid. No way, dude. Like, God, I think Mario has a video of the tram car coming out of the fog.
That was a cool video. Yeah,
that was cool. You could not see it. And it's a big 80-person tram car that's bright red.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see it. It was dangerous foggy up there. And we were still up there doing it.
Yeah. That's what we do. We commit to skiing.
Yeah.
We commit to skiing, and we do it.
Well, we showed up. Our photographer didn't.
Son
You
of a
know,
bitch.
son of a
bitch.
bitch. But like you
That
said, you didn't
fog
know
would
what to.
ruin the jump anyway.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been ugly. The
Yeah.
photo would have come out like shit. It would have been whatever.
If it's not beautiful, why do it? We don't get out of bed for under 100,000 anyway. So
I don't. I don't.
exactly.
I had a wicked good save there. I went there again with Scooter and his dad. Shout out and rest in peace. Me and Scoot were bombing down that one steep that heads down towards the tram. I think we all did it. And there was like, they built up, like there was where I was, and then there was like a 6 or 7 inch drop I didn't see coming. And I was all, and I recovered. I didn't go down, man. I was pretty happy. I looked good, man. Scooter makes me look good. I don't know what it is. He's my good luck charm.
He inspires you.
He does.
He's your muse.
He is. Never follow Scooter. We've gotten separated many times at ski hills.
Yeah.
We got separated actually, too. I think at Cannon. I don't remember. We might have. I don't
There was
remember.
that one part where we went really far skiers left, and we ended up like in these like we were like, is this the resort still? Because it was like all this grass was like it's like high grass.
Yeah, that was that. Mm-hmm.
Like what the hell is going on here?
We were skiing in a field.
Yeah,
where the hell are we?
It was like wheat here.
That's fine. That's fine. We made it though.
We got through.
It was good. It was good. Hey,
yeah.
We're good, man. We ski well.
Yeah.
We're not the best. I don't ever say I'm the best. I'm not. I'm usually the worst of the group. I don't care.
I just love it.
But that's what Ski Rex. That's what Ski Rex Media is. You don't have to be the best.
Yeah.
That's what I push. I say you don't have to be the best. Just have fun. Go out there, do it your way. There's a lot of gatekeeping in our sport. I feel like you're not doing it this way, then you suck and you're a poser. Like what, dude? What? Like I'm here to do it. Like I'm not trying to impress. I've done that. I've been there, done that. Like impress girls because I can go 80 miles an hour down a hill. Ooh, stupid. I don't do that shit anymore. I'm just out there to do it and do it with my friends and hang out. That's it. That's what I do. It's fun.
It's fun. Skiing is the best.
It's so much fun. I mean, you take what you want out of it. Do you just like being outside? That's cool. There's a lot outside. Take in the views, man. I do a view check all the time on social media when I'm up in a place, especially if it's a new place. If I'm at Crotchet, I went to Crotchet for the first time. I was like, look at these views, man. I was mad I couldn't get a video of the view from the top of Mount Sunapee where you could see Killington, Okemo, Bromley, Mount Snow, and Haystack that day. Like, you could see them all. And I recognized most of them too. Like, I honestly thought that Bromley, someone told me it was Bromley, but Bromley faces south. But
it does, yeah.
Now that I think about it, there is a little bit on the eastern, not face. It kind of starts to come around to the eastern side of Bromley. Maybe that's what I saw because I thought it was a Scutney myself. But somebody there told me that was actually Bromley. So, but I got the other ones right. I never get those right. I know I can't do that. I can't play that game as well as some people.
You're not doing those James Niehaus guess the mountain of trail maps.
I was at Bolton one day, and it was a beautiful day, and I saw a mountain in the distance. I'm like, that's Smuggler's Notch. I'm like, later, no, did I say Smuggler's Notch? No, I don't remember which one I said it was. But I skied and I come across it. I did this whole bit on social media, like for the day. I was like, by the time I was done, I was like, I have no idea what the hell that is. I have no idea where I'm at. I barely know I'm looking towards the west. It was Whiteface. Someone told me. I was like, whoa. Like by car, that's not far. It's only 3 hours from where I live now. So it's like just about 2 from Bolton. But still, you're seeing that far out. Like that, it was a beautiful day. The Lake Champlain was Lake Champlain was shimmering. Bolton Valley's great. For anybody who's never been there, go there too. That place is amazing. Indy Pass again. Indy over corporate, man.
It's amazing how many good places are on the Indy Pass, especially in New England.
So many good places, including my place, Whaleback Mountain, which I am at 2 nights a week doing lifts. The Lord's work. The book is almost finally finished. I was going to write a book about the experience from last year. And I remember you said it. We were doing an episode. I was on your podcast and you called it The Lord's Work. I'm like, well, I'm stealing that. And I'm writing this book and it sucked. And then I wrote it again. I was like, it fucking sucked. And it's like, I know it's, and I don't mean that from a, you know, a person is their own worst critic. Like we know that. It was from a more technical sense. It was I know how to write and I know this was bad. Not woe is me, self-pity. It was like, all right, this is bad. I got to start over. But I think I'm almost done.
Nice.
Yeah,
Revise,
so.
revise, right?
Hey, I look at my shelf over here, which thank goodness there's only this much on the video version of this because behind me on my desk is a mess. My office is just torn apart. God, there's like a pile of hats over there and shit and stuff. But I have like Egan's book here, 30 Years in a White Haze. Awesome. I have the Delena's book here, Without Restraint. I got Powder Days for my for a Christmas present this year. I was like, I want a book next to those. Kim's book. I have Kim's book, Kimberly K. You know. I have all these books. I was like, I want mine next to them. That's what I want.
Look at you.
So
I love
that's
that.
what I'm gonna do.
So when's it gonna come out?
Hopefully before the end of the season, but it might be the beginning of the summer now because like you, I've just lost time. Like you haven't gotten to get out on snow a lot. I haven't either. It's just time. It just keeps on slipping. And when you're trying, like, for those who don't know, sometimes putting together a podcast takes more. Like we've been talking for an hour and a half. Brian, this could take you another 2-3 hours to edit. I don't know.
Yep, probably.
And for me, it could
and
be the same.
I do it light editing. I don't
Me
take
too.
much out.
No, neither do I. And sometimes it's just you gotta, because I have to add stuff. Like Brian did his ad read while I was here because I'm Tario today. That's great. But I usually don't. So I go back in and re-record the ad reads and do all this other stuff. And it feels kind of stupid to say that here I am in the ski media world and I haven't been skiing. I've done 6 days, but it's February. I can get in a bunch.
That's the way I'm looking at it. February is going to be epic. March is going to be epic. And
you coming up here?
I'm going to be up at Stratton actually in a couple of weeks. Because I got an Icon pass. So
you got an Icon, right on.
Yeah, so I'm bringing the whole family. I got lessons for the kids.
Nice.
I sold a kidney so I could pay for this goddamn trip.
Good man, you don't need it.
We're staying for 4 nights.
Nice.
So psyched about that. So that's going to be that second week in February. And I'm still hoping to get out west. Because my buddy Nick's out in Colorado, and we're trying for President's Weekend. Didn't work, so maybe the end of February. We shall see.
Very nice, dude.
Yeah, hey. I got a lot of skiing to do in February. That's gonna happen.
Dude, I'd invite myself along in February. If you're at Stratton, I can make it. I'm coming.
Dude, absolutely.
You might see high vis just flying down black bear and polar bear, man.
I love it. I've never skied Stratton before.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna say, oh, dude, you're in for a treat, but I like Stratton. I do. One of our favorites, a friend of mine who used to work there and ski there and actually lives not too far from there. He showed me, is it polar bear to black bear or black bear to polar bear off the top? I can never remember which comes first, but it's like a diamond and a blue. And that is a fun run. And we bombed it once, my bestie, my BFF, and 2 of our other friends who aren't as experienced as we are. And it was a cloudy day, a foggy day, and they were blowing snow on it, and we bombed it like idiots. And these 2 others come down behind us, and we're like, they were a little shaken. And the one kid, he never gets shaken. He was not even afraid to die. I remember that kid one time, we went into the trees at Mount Snow. I was like, dude, you're not good enough for this. Don't follow us. We're going in. I hear him behind me. I look, he followed us in. I was like, dude, you're just not afraid to die. He's like, no, really.
My balls are bigger than my brains.
Hey, if you got to have something big. But yeah, Stratton's nice. I think you'll dig it. The gondola up to the top is a good ride. So that and it moves pretty quick. The lines, well, if you're gonna, no, you said second week of February, so there shouldn't be anybody there if you're going midweek.
Well, we're going Saturday through Tuesday, so Saturday, Sunday might be a little dicey, but
Monday
it's Super Bowl weekend too, so Sunday should be even nice because people be maybe skiing in the morning, then ducking out to the Super Bowl, going home.
Yeah, they totally will. Will. That's good.
And I know the guy Andrew, he's the marketing guy from there. I'm gonna reach out to him.
Nice.
See if maybe he can give us a tour on Saturday, so
Yes.
which you know how that goes.
Yes.
You know how that goes.
Always looking for the personal tour. Dude,
Yeah.
you gotta be able to get up to take a tour with Egan there at Tenny.
When is that going to happen?
They did the one he was talking to us about, and he actually texted
in December, right?
I think it was in December, and I couldn't go. I couldn't go, and I was pissed. So I don't know. I'm gonna hit him up and get another one. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
if you can find if there's going to be a day, like I'd love to come up.
yeah, I'm gonna because like Rob Delana, author of Without Restraint: How Skiing Saved My Son's Life, he wants to go up there too. So maybe we can set it up. All of us can go.
I'd love that.
Yeah, it's maybe Ryan will be around and tan all of our hides. It's
Yeah.
kid's a nut. I like him. I like
Yeah.
him. He's a
He
good
can
boy.
ski, that's for sure.
He can ski, man. He's got that Cody Townsend clout now. So he does. He did you see his video on YouTube, Ryan's video at Baffin?
No, I didn't see it.
Kind of check that out. It's a quick thing, but his trip kind of melds with Cody Townsend on the 50 while he was up at Baffin.
Oh wow, okay.
Too. So they're kind of there. He might even be in the episode. I don't know of the 50. I'm not sure about that, but kid's going places.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Going all the places, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, good for him.
It's something. Yeah. So hey, Ski Rex Media, man. I'll take a ride with almost anybody. I'm not good, but I'll ride with just. I will.
There you go.
That's what I do. Or I'll bump your chair if you're at Whaleback. Come to Whaleback. Whaleback's
Come
fun.
to Whaleback. Yeah. All right.
Whaleback's
Well,
fun.
Tim, anything you want to send people to where they can find all your information out?
Sure. Head over to skirexmedia.com without an HTTPS. HTTP www. I have to fix the S.
You
Yeah.
get your certificate, huh?
Dude, I am a very amateur web design and creator. I can do it, but it takes me a few extra steps sometimes to get things done.
Everything is way harder than it should be on the web. Web used to be fun and easy, and it's not
used
anymore.
to be fun and easy. Now it's a pain in the ass.
It really is.
It took me forever to figure out CSS. Like when I first learned web coding, it was when the web was in its infancy and you could get anything you want when the World Wide Web was the Wild Wild West. And I saw things I can't forget. And so some awful stuff back in the day.
Go Goatsy.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's rough. You can't unsee this stuff, as the kids say. But anyway, there was no CSS back then. So I have to relearn all this. I have to relearn all JavaScript if I don't want
tables.
If I don't want to pay somebody to do it, and I don't. I'm small. Skirex Media is small. To that point, like Brian said at the beginning of the episode, you can also come to patreon.com/Skirex Media. You could jump in there. Tiers range from $1 to get the podcast early and ad-free. You get the podcast on Sunday, not Wednesday, and you get it ad-free. Or you could jump up to the Poser Chronicles, a magazine I tried to do in print, but is now only in digital version because I can do it cheaper that way. So you can check that out, the Poser Chronicles, skirexmedia.com. You can send me an email at contact@skirexmedia.com. I have many aliases running throughout Skirex Media, and contact CONTACT at skirexmedia.com. You could go to the website, or you can go to speakpipe.com/Skirex Media and send me a voicemail, which we've done on the podcast. It's a lot of fun. Leave me a voicemail, leave your name, you get a shout out. You can do whatever you want. You can talk about skiing. You can talk about something stupid if you want. Try and keep it snow sports related, but we could do it. And I will play it. I've done it on a couple episodes. So if you want to do that too, skirexmedia.com, you can find all of it. But there you go. A list of a few places and the socials, obviously, Skirex Media.
What about Rexy tryouts? Is that
Rexy tryouts were, I'm working on how I want to do it. Do I want to do casting couch style? But I don't think my girl would like that too much. So I'm not going to do that. I was not on Epstein's Island, so there's going to be nothing like that. Me and Stephen Hawking, we're two different people completely.
Keeping it clean.
I think I want to do it kind of like Miss America. Kind of. Okay. But I'm still wondering if a bikini contest in the snow is a good idea. Like there's liability, insurance, frostbite, hypothermia, these kind of things. Whaleback would probably let me do it, and I think the majority of their ski patrol is volunteer anyway. so they might be cool to be there for it. Some blankets, hot chocolate, that kind of thing.
It's just
But
like
Rexy,
when they do with the polar plunge. You know, as long as you got people there with blankets and hot cocoa, you should be fine.
fine, it's fine.
We're
You
tougher
know,
though. Like humans can take a lot more cold than we actually think we can.
plus New Englanders.
Yeah.
And also, don't think I'm some kind of sexist pig either. I don't care how hot you're not. Come up.
You could be a
Media is-
Rexy too if you want.
Yeah, I don't care. We'll do whatever. If Alex Kilde and Michaela Schiffer want to come try out, that's fine. We'll do kings and queens of Rex and have a prom and everything. I don't know. I tripped over that joke.
That's
Whatever.
all right.
That's okay.
That's
Getting
why
late.
Wendy Goldner was laughing or not laughing.
Oh God, that was such a bomb. I can't believe that. Like she looked at me like I was cross-eyed, and I knew it wasn't because she speaks English very well. It's just like it wasn't the language barrier. It was just bad.
Oof.
Happens.
Gotta shoot your shot.
No, I mean it was fun. She's cool. She was cool too. She was a lot of fun to talk to.
Nice.
So there you go. Come check out my podcast too. Again, all the same places you can find the Ski Bum podcast. You can find the Ski Rex Media podcast, to which Brian and Mario have been on also. We trade off a couple times a year. So there you go.
Beautiful. It's a loving community we have here. And Tim, it's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you taking the time to be my co-host this week. It was a blast.
Dude, I was excited when you mentioned it and I realized it. I was like, oh, I don't just get to be the guest. I get to be Tario.
That's right.
Tario from Ski Rex
Tario
Media.
lives. Yes.
That's a whole other. And then
You've got a whole
conspiracy-
new personality now.
I
you
know,
can-
I
you
have
can
to-
go and run with that if you want.
Dude, I found one of those AI voice generators. You can make it sound any way you want. Tario will now be a character on the Ski Rex Media podcast.
I love it.
And then what is it? What did we call it? The conspiracy podcast coming
Coming to your ears and brains in the
next
near
winter.
future. I love it.
I
Well, Tim,
love it. Yes,
Thank
brother.
you again. Always
Thank
a good
you.
time. And hopefully
man.
we'll actually get on the snow together this season.
I hope
at some point.
so. I hope so. I hope so. If not, I'll come down to Big Snow during the summer. We'll do it.
Beautiful. Well,
I
thank
love
you everyone for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com, socials, Instagram, X, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Skibum Podcast. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Stay high, stay falutin'.
See ya.